Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is a segment called Let's Read a Book. So this book is one that I found here at my grandma's house, and it is called Apples of Gold, and it's super cute. And it's really old. Well, not really old, but she has it dated in here. So that's kind of cool. So, yeah. And I just felt like it was cool. It felt like I just felt compelled to share it with the world, or aka my YouTube channel, just because why not? So it's kind of like, it seems like it wouldn't be long, but we're just going to take it section by section. So this might take a few uploads. So here's the inside cover. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver. And then it says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So contents: love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. And then it says this. Excuse me. I don't know why I keep coughing. I'm sorry, that must be really freaking annoying if you're watching this. I appreciate you. Okay. The material in this book has been collected over a long period of time. Many of the original sources are unknown to the compiler. The compiler wishes to acknowledge the original authors, whoever they may be, but has confidence that they would urge with her, do not inquire as to who said this, but pay attention to what is said. Love. Scientists know only what love does. Love properly applied could virtually empty our asylums, our prisons, our hospitals. Love is the touchstone of psychiatric treatment. Love can be fostered, extended, used to subjugate hate, and thus cure diseases. More and more clearly, every day, out of biology, anthropology, sociology, history, economics, psychology, the plain common sense, the necessary mandate of survival, that we love our neighbors as ourselves, is being confirmed and reaffirmed. Christ gave us only one commandment: love. Now to the laboratory with love. Where love is, there God is. To love is virtually to know. To know is not virtually to love. Real friends are those who, when you've made a fool of yourself, don't feel that you've done a permanent job. Excuse me. We may give without loving, but we cannot love without giving. Work is love made visible. It also takes two to make up after a quarrel. Faults are thick when love is thin. To love life through labor is to be intimate with life's inmost secret. Do not judge your friend until you stand in his place. He who sows courtesy reaps friendship, and he who plants kindness gathers love. You shall judge a man by his foes as well as by his friends. Adolescence is the age at which children stop asking questions because they know all the answers. Except in occasional emergencies, there is not much that one man can do for another other than help him to help himself. The door to the human heart can be opened only from the inside. Friendship, I'm gonna just go back. I love that one. I really like that one. The door to the human heart can be opened only from the inside. Friendship is to be purchased only by friendship. Let us be the first to give a friendly sign, to nod first, smile first, speak first, and if such a thing is necessary, forgive first. The light of friendship is like the light of phosphorus, seen when all around is dark. I did a favor yesterday, a kindly little deed, and then I called to all the world to stop and look and heed. They stopped and looked and flattered me in words I cannot trust, and when the world had gone away, my good deed turned to dust. A very tiny curtsy I found to do today. 'Twas quickly done, with none to see, and then I ran away. But someone must have witnessed it, for truly I declare, as I sped back the stony path, roses were blooming there. Restraint without love is barbarity. Love without restraint commits suicide. Love without restraint commits suicide. For we must share if we would keep that blessing from above. Ceasing to give, we cease to have. Such is the law of love. If a single man achieves the highest kind of love, it will be sufficient to neutralize the hate of millions. If a single man achieves the highest kind of love, it will be sufficient to neutralize the hate of millions. Love cannot be wasted. It makes no difference where it is bestowed. It always brings in big returns. God pardons like a mother who kisses the offense into everlasting forgetfulness. To handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. Measure your life by the loss instead of gain, not by the wine drunk, but in the wine poured forth. The love's strength stands in love's sacrifice, and who suffers most has most to give. The only safe and sure way to destroy an enemy is to make him your friend. Are you lonely, O my brother? Share your little with another. Stretch a hand to one unfriended, and your loneliness is ended. The only greatness is unselfish love. Return to him who does you wrong your purest love, and he will cease from doing wrong, for love will purify the heart of him who is beloved as truly as it purifies the heart of him who loves. Creation of woman from the rib of man, she was not made of his head to top him, nor out of his feet to be trampled upon by him, but out of his side to be equal with him, under his arm to be protected, and near his heart to be beloved. A foreigner is a friend I haven't met yet. The only way to have a friend is to be one. It is only the forgiving who are qualified to receive forgiveness. The father is the head of the house, the mother is the heart of the house. The love you liberate in your work is the love you keep. How seldom we weigh our neighbor in the same balance with ourselves. A friend is a person with whom you dare to be yourself. Add all the love of the parents, and the total sum cannot be multiplied enough times to express God's love for me, the least of his children. A long life is barely enough for a man and woman to understand each other, and to be understood is to love. The man who understands one woman is qualified to understand pretty well everything. Not the quarry, but the chase. Not the trophy, but the race. Love is not soft like water. It is hard like rock, on which the waves of hatred beat in vain. It is in loving, not in being loved. The heart is blessed. It is in giving, not in seeking gifts. We find our quest. Whatever be your longing or your need that give, so shall your soul be fed, and you indeed shall live. To learn and never be filled is wisdom. To teach and never be weary is love. Conscience is God's presence in man. Miss, do you love me still, mister? Yes, better than any other way. God regards the greatness of the love that prompts the man, rather than the greatness of his achievement. It is as absurd to pretend that one cannot love the same woman always as to pretend that a good artist needs several violins to play a piece of music. I married her because we have so many faults in common. We like someone because we love someone, although a friend is one who knows all about you and still likes you. Go often to the house of your friend, for weeds choke up the unused path. Your friend has a friend, and your friend's friend has a friend. Be discreet. He that cannot forgive others breaks the bridge over which he must pass, for every man has need to be forgiven. Forgiveness is the fragrance the violet sheds on the heel that crushed it. To understand is to pardon. Friendship is the only cement that will ever hold this world together. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. Love is the passionate and abiding desire on the part of two or more people to produce together conditions under which each can be spontaneously express his real self, to produce together an intellectual soil and an emotional climate in which can flourish far superior to what either could achieve alone. The best way for a husband to clinch an argument is to take her in his arms. The bonds of matrimony aren't worth much unless the interest is kept up. A friend is a present you give yourself. One reason why a dog is such a lovable creature is that his tail wags instead of his tongue. Come what may, hold fast to love. Though men should rent your heart, let them not embitter or harden it. We win by tenderness, we conquer by forgiveness. One of the mysteries of life is how the boy who wasn't good enough to marry the daughter can be the father of the smartest grandchild in the world. Friends are made by many acts and lost by only one. Pure religion is love in action. The smallest good deed is better than the grandest intention. I found a little remedy to ease life we live and make each day a happier one. It is the word forgive. So often little things come up that leave a pain and sting. The covering up at once would not amount to anything. 'Tis when we hold them up to a view and brood and sulk and fret, they greater grow before our eyes, 'twere better to forget. Politeness is a small price to pay for the goodwill and affection of others. The greater the man, the greater the courtesy. The coin of God's realm is love. A partnership with God is motherhood. It is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. American creed, patriotism which leaps over the fence of party prejudice, religion which jumps over the wall of intolerance, brotherhood which climbs over the mountain of national separations. The best gifts are tied with heartstrings. Man is probably the only animal which even attempts to have anything to do with his half-grown young. Every calling is great when greatly pursued. An injurious truth has no merit over an injurious lie. A friend is one who comes to you when all others leave. He drew a circle that shut me out, but love and I had the wit to win. He drew a larger circle that took him in. We drew a larger circle that took him in. Mothers, as well as fools, sometimes walk where angels fear to tread. When a man does a noble act, date him from that. Forget his faults. Let his noble act be the standpoint from which you regard him. A mistake at least proves somebody stopped talking long enough to do something. A teacher affects eternity. He will never tell where the influence stops. 'Twas her thinking of others made you think of her. Water which is distant is no good for a fire which is near. Success in marriage is more than finding the right person. It is a matter of being the right person. Hate is a prolonged manner of suicide. Some women work so hard to make good husbands that they never quite manage to make good wives. Put yourself in his place. What counts is not the number of hours you put in, but how much you put in the hours. Love sees through a telescope, not a microscope. Some people give and forgive, and others get and forget. He makes no friends who never made a foe. Women's styles may change, but their designs remain the same. If you had to do it over, would you fall in love with yourself again? A woman worries about the future until she gets a husband, while a man never worries about the future until he gets a wife. Ceremonies are different in every country, but true politeness is everywhere the same. And that is the end of the love portion. So they're really super cute. I hope you enjoyed this, and this was published around before 1976. Let's see if it actually says. It doesn't say at all. Let me see in the back. Nope, it sure doesn't. But yes, thank you for joining in. I enjoyed reading that, and I hope you have a beautiful night. Bye-bye. Like, subscribe, comment, follow. Keep up with the chapter 2. Yeah. Bye-bye. Appreciate you.